So guys, the deck that I'm about to show you is insane. As you can see here, win streak in current rank 7 here in Master 2. I will show you the deck in a moment. I can't believe myself that it worked so well. So welcome back guys. If you have seen the video that I posted yesterday, you might have already seen the deck that I will show you right now. You can see win streak in current rank 7. We are using a blind second deck, but which blind second deck? And you can also see that we not only have this win streak 7 here in Master 3/Master 2, but also before we had like one loss, and then there was also a 3-game win streak if you want to call that. And you can see this is somewhere around the part where I started playing the deck, because I think down here you can see I was like losing 50-50, losing 3, winning 3. I really had the feeling that it was a hard climb, which is when I decided, or I kind of realized, that going second might be the way to go in the current meta, because everything always breaks your board. So I decided to use this list here, and I have to say it's insanely strong. This works insanely well. Obviously, because a lot of people are playing poorly or are playing Kashtira right now, though the main, like the 90% of the people are playing Kashtira, and then there are maybe 10% playing poorly. So this is a blind going second list, which you always want to go second with. If you win the coin toss, you go second. If you don't, then it's even better, because then your opponent does not even know that you wanted to go second. So it's really awesome. It's really nice. The draw works. The evenly matches work. I'm very surprised. But Kashtira ends up with very big and broad boards, also with a lot of set cards sometimes, so evenly matched is just amazing. The general idea of this deck is to kill your opponent. That is why, for example, the T-Elements Kashtira is in here, because if you can get Kashtira to the hand, or you already have Kashtira in hand, the T-Elements Kashtira that is, then you have basically an extra extension to do 2,300 more damage. That's why the girl is in here. That's basically the only reason. The mill effect from the grave, or from the deck to the grave, isn't really useful. I would suggest you use it for your own deck, so that not for like, let's say, a random T-Element opponent that you mill something from him. Though if you go second, you then already know if your opponent plays T-Element cards, so you might also be able to use it on your opponent's deck. We are not playing Pot of Prosperities because they interfere with our plan to kill our opponent if we can, but it's also totally fine if you can evenly match. So I had just a game before I ranked up to Master 2, I had a game in which the opponent built a big Kashtira board, and he had one card in hand, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to use the evenly matched. Just broke his board with that, and with only one card follow-up in hand, he wasn't able to win the game anymore, and scooped on the next turn. Cards like Lightning Stormer in here. Obviously you have this like running around everywhere combo of triple tactics thrust together with 3 triple tactics talents. That's super nice. The thrust is basically always live. The Kashtira Riser always makes this live, and then you can just take a talent and take their Riser, take their Fenrir, and it's super easy to break their board, or you just take the evenly matched. This deck also has the inbuilt option, which didn't come up really, and I can suggest, or I would suggest, you could also switch this out. I copied this from Master Duel Meta. Shout out to the guy who also reached Master 1 with this. Also, I mean, I will reach Master 1 with this in a moment. We have Small World in here. Small World is basically in here to get to your Kurikara, but obviously you can also get to other cards that you want. If you, I don't know, need T-Elements Kashtira or maybe a Scarecrow Kash to finish your opponent, you could also search this with the Small World. But the basic idea is to get to your Kurikara, which you then can use to tribute your opponent's Expurli Noir, but you could also use it to clear the Kashtira board. But for clearing the Kashtira board, evenly matched and the triple tactics talents works fine. Also cards like Lightning Storm, maybe the Duster to remove the birth, and then you have the Kurikara to get rid of your opponent's Expurli Noir. But I also have to say, you could play it a different way also. If you want to like save the gems on the Kurikara, even though it's a really nice card, you could also just put in the Herald of the Abyss, because this can out the Expurli Noir. This can also out the Kashtira Arise if you want to, or any other card for that matter. And you can obviously, because it's a normal spell, simply grab it with your triple tactics thrust. So let's say we have this in here, then you have your triple tactics thrust, and you can get a Lightning Storm. You can also pick a talent, you can pick the Herald, you can pick the evenly matched, you could pick the Duster, or you could pick Pots if you wanted some follow-up. So it's insane how much cards you can pick here, and from how many options you can choose to finally break your opponent's board and win the game. So this works insanely well. I'm surprised myself how smooth this feels, because especially in Master you're basically only playing against Kashtira, and their first turn board has no negations, so you can just like activate your thrust, get your board breaking cards online, or maybe you just hard draw the board breaking cards. You could go for another Lightning Storm if you, for example, put the Herald of the Abyss in and then want to put the Kurikara and the Small World out. Small World obviously is also a target for the Triple Tactics Thrust, that's why that is in here. Extra deck wise, nothing too special here. Don't have the feeling that you need something here. You don't need 3 Shangri-La, you don't need 3 Kashtira Risa, because this pot does not banish from the extra deck. If you would run the other pot, then you definitely want 3 of both, because you want to keep them and be able to have them. But otherwise, this is just amazing. This works insanely well. Duel Lockbird, also an awesome card against Kashtira, though the Droll is also here to function as kind of a bridge, because both of them are level 1, and that's the only thing that basically connects them. So from an Ash you could go into Duel and Lockbird and then go into your Kurikara. Same thing goes for the Maxi, I want to say, but as I'm saying it I realize that it's not true. Truth be told, I have never used the Small World into Kurikara Bridge because I never needed it. This is more for the Export Noir, and I think that the Herald of the Abyss and then minus this and minus this could even be better, but who knows, maybe I will try this out in the future. But anyways, this deck is insane. Just copy it and easy climb to Master 1. The only thing that I have to say is my experience is based on the fact that I'm facing a lot of Kashtira opponents. If you don't, then this deck might be weaker. So for example, if there is a lot of combo decks in the game, so if you're playing against a lot of Math-Mech decks, or your opponent plays, I don't know, Rika or something, then if they can, because you are going second, establish a big Rika board, then this strategy will work worse, or will work not that effectively, because this pretty much relies on the fact that Kashtira and boards don't have negations, and you can then easily break them and just kill them. Because just to quickly mention this, it's basically enough if you have your Unicorn, and then you can get your Fenrir, Kashtira Scareclaw, and the Kashtira Risa. These 4 cards together are enough to kill your opponent. That's from the damage perspective, that is enough damage. And also you have only summoned 4 times until that point, so you are totally Nibiru proof. That's also something that's really nice about the deck. You can kill your opponent with just 4 summons, and you can also on the way remove something with the attack of the Fenrir if there is still something left on the field after you have cleared the field with your board breaking cards. So really awesome. Let me know in the comments if you tested the deck, how it's working for you. Thanks for being here, guys. If you like my kind of videos, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell. This helps me out a lot. Otherwise, we will see each other in the next one.